Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our Quantus server play series. So, if you saw the stream yesterday, you know that I was working in here a little bit, and you may have seen this carpet and stuff already. I didn't get a whole lot done as far as decorating since then, because I actually spent a while in a test world and playing around with a mana design, and I got everything together that we need for that, except for one thing. You can see all kinds of flowers, and actually, I think, okay, there was one thing I had to add to my list because it was actually a flower I was thinking about adding into that mix. But anyway, and by the way, I expanded this a lot. We have Rosa Arcanas now, basically just so if I want to drain my XP and turn it into mana, I can. We also have a Gormariolus. So if I want to throw down some food, it'll eat that food, and then, of course, send its mana to the mana spreader. As you can see right there. Yeah. It actually creates a ton of mana whenever it eats one of these stuffed eggplants. Which eventually will do a Gormariolus setup. But for right now, I decided we're going to do a different setup. Anyways, I started getting everything together and then realized right at the end, right when I was just about done, that I need pixie dust for our mana setup. For our, like, automatic mana setup. Okay, there we go. I went ahead and broke all of that. Oh, we also got the Metamorphosis, just so we could create the Metamorphic Taiga, or the Metamorphic Stone. So anyways, today, since we need pixie dust, we're going to go ahead and get our Elven Portal set up. We're not going to leave it open, but we are going to open it, you know, to use it. And then after next episode, then we'll just leave it running all the time because we'll have automatic passive mana production, and we won't have to worry about, you know, do we have enough mana right now and all that mess. But for right now, we do actually have quite a bit of mana built up that I was working on. Now, I will say that I did spend a lot of it because you'll notice that we have, like, runes for days in here. I did make a lot of excess runes, just so that we had them on hand. Things that I figure we'll need moving forward. So anyways, the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get into terrasteel creation. And I'm actually really excited for the next episode, especially, because, like, I was really excited to get the automatic mana production set up, because I think it's going to be a fun build for us. But anyways, we're going to need one of these terrasteel agglomeration plates. Why will it not craft from the chest? Why in the world? Anyways, I've got all the runes here that we need. Don't need that. That. So it's all just tier 1 runes for this stuff. So there's our terrasteel agglomeration plate, and then we're going to need just a bit more lapis here. And I think for right now, we'll just set up our terrasteel agglomeration plate like right here. It's a little bit crowded right now, but that's okay, because after next episode it won't be crowded anymore. So we're going to need just a living rock pattern, just like that, and then we're going to do lapis right here, and then our agglomeration plate on the top, and that's our terrasteel setup. Now we're also going to need to make ourselves just a couple sparks, which are blaze powder, gold nuggets, which I think I'm going to have to go... Yeah, let me go grab some blaze powder really quick. And then we'll get a couple petals. I have a lot of red, so we're going to go ahead and just snag that one. And then let's get ourselves some gold nuggets. We will get our sparks. So there's 2 of those. And we got the live drive achievement. Good stuff. And then what we'll do is we'll just put a spark on top of our terrasteel agglomeration plate, and then a spark on top of this mana pool, so that way those 2 are connected together. And so next up, in order to actually create our terrasteel, we're going to need a mana diamond, a mana steel ingot, and of course a mana pearl as well. And it's going to take about a half mana pool for this. It is very expensive. So There we go. Sometimes it's a pain to throw stuff on there. I should have made like a dropper. Usually I'll use an open crate. And personally I like having an open crate with like a red stringed container plugged up to drop it, but we don't have that stuff right now. So anyways, it's going to do these really cool particle effects, and eventually it's going to turn really, really green like that, come in towards the middle, and create our very first piece of terrasteel. So very, very nice. And this first piece of terrasteel, we're going to go ahead and just break it down into nuggets. No standing on ceremony here. And so next up, we're going to need to make our Elven Gateway portal. And so let's get, first off, we're going to need a couple pylons, these Natura pylons, which require mana pylons. We've got the mana steel, so we're just going to need a couple mana diamonds. And then we're also going to need a couple eyes of ender. So give me just a second here. Yeah, you'll notice, it annihilated this mana pool. Oh, man. Okay, so for our mana pylons, there we go. And then we'll upgrade those, Natura pylons, and there we go. And so next up, we're going to need our gateway core, which is just living wood. And then our last bit of terrasteel like that. And there's that. And then we're going to need, I'm going to need glowstone, right? Alright, so now we're all ready to build this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to set it up. Tell you what, I'm going to remove this for the time being, because I don't know that I need all 6 of these all the time. But we'll put it right there for now. And we're going to set this up temporarily, might I add, but we're going to set it up temporarily right here. So we'll have our Elven Gateway core. Don't want to put it into the ground. That's what we'll do. We'll put it down here into the ground just a little bit. So living wood, and then our Elven Gateway core, living wood, and then glimmering living wood. Just like that. And then a glimmering living wood at the top center. So that's the frame of it, and then we just have to set up our Natura pylons, and we're just going to put them like right here, and that should be good. As long as it's within like 16 blocks or something like that, it works. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and get ourselves, where's the rest of my ender pearls? So I'll tell you what, we're going to convert quite a bit of stuff, this first conversion here. So we'll go ahead and get, oh, we are out of manas here. Okay, so we got ourselves a half stack of mana steel, and then a quarter stack of mana diamonds and ender pearls. And then we'll also go ahead and get ourselves a couple stacks of living wood. Just like that. I'm going to leave a little bit here, like standard. And then we'll also go ahead and grab this glass as well. And we'll go ahead and convert the glass over into mana glass, so that we've got it. And now I think we're about ready to open up the portal. And like I said, in this episode, we're just going to open it, trade our items, and then shut it down. Which I know I had some people ask about using our portal, because they I know a couple people thought we already had one, but once we get our mana automated, we'll leave the portal open for good, you know. But right now, I don't want it to drain out all of my mana, so I am going to just power it on, power it off, and then next episode, I've got to actually craft a couple other things I thought of in the course of this episode that I could add to it to make it a little bit better. But next episode, we will, set up our automatic mana production. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and right-click the Gateway Core. And there we go, World Calling Achievement. And we'll go ahead and throw our mana steel in there. We'll get 16 Elementium because it's a 2-for-1 trade. We'll throw in our Lexica Botania. So we have the new one here with the Elven Knowledge. Mana Pearls, I definitely want to trade out for Pixie Dust. Mana Diamonds for Dragonstone. And then we'll also go ahead and trade in our Mana Glass for Alf Glass. And then lastly, we'll trade our living wood in for dream wood. Because dream wood, of course, with dream wood and elementium, we can make our new mana spreaders, which, you know, they move more mana and they're quite a bit better. So definitely excited for that. And the only thing that's not a 1-for-1 trade, by the way, is the elementium. It's a 2-for-1, so just keep that in mind. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and shut it down. Because we got our stuff. So, awesome times. And now we can actually make the item. I mean, this is literally one of the last things that we need for what I want to do, and that is we need warp lenses. So we're going to go ahead and snag 2 of those. And we'll just throw those in there. We'll get into why we need those and stuff next episode. Because we really don't have time this episode to get that set up. I wish we did, because I'm super, super excited about it. Honestly, I might go ahead and record it today. We'll see. Because I'm really excited to get that set up and, you know, up and running and everything. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually get ourselves a few of our new mana spreaders. So we'll go ahead and just snag, I like the Elven mana spreader. And we'll get 5 of them to start with. That sounds good. And we'll go ahead and trade out this mana spreader, because of course we have 3 mana spreaders feeding into this one. So, may as well go ahead and change that over. And then we'll just link this back up. And then I also wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't mind changing out. Oh gosh. I wouldn't mind changing out these 3. Just because, you know, then if we step on here with a bunch of XP or something, of course, we can transfer that even quicker. Because the only thing that was holding us back before was, of course, the amount of mana that these mana spreaders could handle at a time. And then these should all still be bound, which they are. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and lastly, we'll go ahead and just convert one of these mana spreaders over, just so that we can get mana into our runic altar a bit faster when I'm making runes, because I have been making a lot of those between episodes. Alright, so for example here, I've got altogether about 6.5 stacks of solidified experience. So, let's go ahead and pop all of this so you can see how much mana we're going to be producing, and then see how fast it'll drain. Because before, around level 40, it took a little while for those mana spreaders to be able to move that much mana from the Rosa Arcanas. But with these new spreaders, I don't think it's going to take very long, honestly. I really, really don't. Now, I will say that realistically, I don't necessarily have to waste all this XP for this, for this mana. But at the same time, I mean, I don't really have a ton of uses or needs for it. At this point, because in the very near future we're going to start doing all of our enchanting using mana as well. So, but basically what I do is, you know, if I have a lot of XP or something like that, I would just sit on top of this, this mana spreader, and basically each of these Rosa Arcanas, if we take a look here, that one is bound to this spreader, that one is bound to that spreader, and that one is bound to that spreader. So even still, these Rosa Arcanas are capping out the spreaders. Realistically, it is a ton of mana. But I would like to start building up terrasteel, so, you know, we can always use it for that or something. So anyways, now, though, if we take a look at our Lexica Britannia, we now have the Elven Guard. I'm not going to read through all this. I'm sure you guys, most of you have probably already read through that, honestly. But if you take a look here, the resources of Alfheim, the only other thing that we can trade is quartz for elven quartz. And that's, you know, we pretty much covered all the different items. I forgot about quartz, but really the elven quartz, we don't use it for that much stuff. But you can also do blocks if you want to, and get block versions for the diamonds and the mana steel. So just kind of keep that in mind. But anyways, of course, if we look through here now, you'll see all these things in green. That's new stuff that came from the Elven portal. And then actually, I also want to go ahead and get ourselves a potency lens. And basically it just takes a rune of fire and a mana lens. So not terribly expensive. Oh, you know what? I am out of glass. Actually, I don't need glass. I don't know what I was thinking. Glass panes. Apparently you can use glass. I just noticed that. But you might as well just use glass panes. It's cheaper. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and convert all this iron over that we have left. So we have a half stack of mana steel now. And then we'll go ahead and get our mana lens. And then we'll combine it with fire. And that's going to get our potency lens for us. And of course, lenses we can put directly onto like a spreader. And the potency lens is going to allow it to carry more. But it is going to move a little bit slower and it's going to lose mana faster. But it's not a far enough distance between here and here that it's going to start actually losing any mana. So that's not really a concern for us. Because it actually, I just checked, it doubles the amount of mana that it can carry. Which is, of course, very, very handy. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pull these Natura pylons down for the time being. Because we'll end up moving the Elven Portal. So I don't need that stuff on hand right this second. Let's go ahead and get ourselves an alchemy catalyst. I know it is getting fairly close to wrapping up point, but I think we have time for this, and it's actually something that I do really, really want to have. Hey, there's a perfect example of why, actually. Hey, sit back down. The cats here are mainly just to keep creepers away. There is a flower that does that as well, but I just haven't gotten around to actually crafting it yet. So we just need some gold, and then we'll get our alchemy catalyst. And the way we can use this is we can put it underneath the mana pool. So I'm going to put it underneath, like, I think this mana pool. Sounds good to me. So we'll put it right down there, and you'll notice it kind of gives this symbol to the mana pool. And that means that this mana pool can do alchemy. So basically for the cost of a little bit of mana, you can convert things over. And one of the major reasons I want this is a lot of times I need leather. And of course we have an area with cows, but it's not automatic. And realistically, you know, breeding cows and stuff like that, I mean, I was lazy and now I only have like 4 cows. So, you know, I wasn't paying attention. I was just killing them when I needed to. So now we have an easier way to get leather, which is, of course, just throw rotten flesh in here. And it's going to convert that over into leather for a little bit of mana. So, I mean, there's actually a ton of stuff that you can do with the alchemy catalyst. So, if we take a look here, you'll notice that we can actually make the petite flowers. We can also change wood over into different types. And then lily pads. We can easily make lily pads with vines and vice versa. We can change fish types. We can make flint from gunpowder or vice versa. Blaze rods into netherwort. Books into name tags. Wool into string. You can actually change cactus into slime ball. Gas tears into ender pearls. Glowstone into redstone. And vice versa. Cobblestone into sand. Which is one thing I'd really love to have. But anyways, like I said, next episode when we come back, we're going to jump straight into mana production. And we're going to be setting up a system that is automatic, that we don't have to touch, we don't have to mess with, and, you know, it's just going to run. There's no bringing materials over, there's no setting up additional farms. It will have some farms with it. It is one big farm, but yeah, we'll get that in place, and that way we'll be producing quite a bit of mana, honestly. And we won't have to worry too much about mana moving forward, at least, you know, for the time being. And then later on, you know, we'll make some more automation setups and stuff like that. So it'll be very, very good. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And I hope to see you guys next time. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm super excited to get on with building that, and hopefully we'll finish it next episode. But anyways, I hope you guys join me for that, and I hope to see you guys then. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.